Hello, survivors, and welcome to another episode of Will You Survive?
The podcast.
I am Eric. I am your host today, and we are joined by my fellow Purgers, Alex.
That's me.
And TJ.
Blessed be our new founding fathers.
Nice. Good
America.
call.
All
Good
right,
call.
all right.
A nation reborn. A podcast reborn.
Oh.
That was the alarm.
A podcast reborn.
I'm sure that was really
So,
loud and
Eric,
obnoxious
you're
for
fired.
everybody.
No, I'm not.
Too real. Too real.
Somebody walks into
It
the room
almost
behind
happened.
you, kicks you out of your chair.
Yeah. All right. Well, this episode, I actually have a fun little twist
All right.
that I haven't read any of these, so I have no idea how this conversation is going to go. But our number one fan official, Josh, was messaging me earlier today
Okay.
and was saying that he had quite the opinions about this movie. He shared some briefly that I 100% agree with. And then I told him, I was like, hey, you should send me a list and we'll do like a Josh's Thoughts segment. But then he sent me a lot. And I was like, well, I guess we're just doing a whole episode on Josh's Thoughts. So I'm totally stealing Josh's thoughts here.
Okay.
And we're going to discuss all of his thoughts about this movie.
So for those of you who don't know, because,
You live under a rock.
this was from 2013. It was so recent. How scary is that? In an America racked by crime and overcrowded prisons, the government has sanctioned an annual 12-hour period in which any and all criminal activity, including murder, becomes legal.
Yeah.
The police can't be called. Hospitals suspend help. It's one night when the citizenry regulates itself without thought of punishment.
Skirt.
On this night, plagued by violence and an epidemic of crime, one family wrestles with the decisions of who they will become when a stranger comes knocking.
Yeet.
When an intruder breaks into James Sandin's gated community during the yearly lockdown, he begins a sequence of events that threatens to tear a family apart.
Lil Pump.
Now it's up to James, his wife Mary,
up.
and their kids to make it through the night without turning into the monsters from whom they hide.
Purge, 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 purge. That's nice. I was trying something new.
What is this, Michael Myers?
Podcast reborn. I don't know.
So let's get to it.
Okay.
His first gripe. Charlie undermines his father for no good reason. He says, what he did, Charlie lets a complete stranger into the house during the Purge, the most dangerous night of the year, because he, quote, feels bad for him.
Yep.
He said, why it's stupid. He doesn't even try to ask his parents or think through the risk. It's a childish, emotional, impulsive move that nearly gets everyone killed. And then he says how it's a betrayal. He flat out overrides his father's decision and disables the entire security system from the inside. That's not just disobedience, it's sabotage.
Yep.
And I agree. I think both of his kids suck.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I hated literally all of them.
I cannot believe
The entire
Like-
family. I hated them.
well, the mother I think was fine.
She was fine at the end, but like she didn't do much.
I mean, I think they all thought they wouldn't have to do much.
Nah,
So-
dude,
I
think
because
the
the
mother
dad
was
was
the
ready
best
to
one.
like fight
Who?
for his family.
mother.
You know?
I have a problem with the mother. So
What?
she's helping James by impaling the guy while he's trying to get him in the chair. And then after James gets him in the chair, she's like, look at what you've done. It's like, bitch, really?
Well,
Yeah.
no, she said, "Look at what we're doing."
What have we become?
What have we become? And I agree with her. I mean, if you're gonna have that moment of like realizing what you're doing, and she made him change his mind. She made the father change his mind. I think she was the most. I think she was the best character. I think the dad kind of went a little crazy, but I think he had very valid reasons. He got betrayed by both of his kids.
Yeah.
And then just wanted to try and save his family. It was a stranger's life or his family's. So I think he made a
Also,
valid choice.
The daughter. She didn't feel that gun on him. They were all up in
Yeah,
bed
right?
making out.
For real.
I mean,
She wasn't touching butt? She wasn't
come
touching
on, dude.
back?
She's like, is that a Glock
that-
in your pocket, or are you
He's
just happy to see me?
Yeah, yeah. So, speaking of the daughter, Josh's second gripe. Zoe endangers everyone with her creepy older boyfriend.
Yep.
What she did, She hides her much older boyfriend in her room without telling anyone, knowing full well that tensions exist between him and her father. I will say, she actually did not know he was going to be there. He snuck in, and that was a whole big thing.
She kept it a secret, though.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so
He says, Wyatt's stupid. He literally tries to kill James during the Purge. His plan was to talk to him by pulling a gun. What did she think was going to happen? How it's a betrayal. Zoe allowed a ticking time bomb into the house on Purge night. If your family locks down to avoid murders, maybe don't hide one in your room.
She didn't know he was a murderer. Also, I feel like she's a dumb teenager. First thing I caught on to, 'cause I haven't seen this since it came out. The way I caught on to bro being a bad dude is she was like, "I love you," and he was just like, "Let's not."
We
got
to say something different.
Yeah, like shut the fuck up. Just say it back. And he didn't the whole time. And I was just like, "Yeah, no, he's not in it for her."
Why don't we grr at each other?
Yeah.
Although I did think that what she said was ridiculous. It's like, did you look ridiculous? Do you have any idea how ridiculous we all looked as teenagers?
But yeah,
absolutely.
She definitely put the fucking family in danger doing that shit.
So,
absolutely did.
Here's what I'll say about her, in my opinion. When the boyfriend got shot, I don't see a world where after he pulled a gun on my dad that I would ever care after that. So to me, it's even bizarre that she was like, "Oh my God, are you okay? I can't believe what happened. Like, why did you do that?
Why did you do that?"
Yeah, I don't think there's any part of me like at that point you just shot at my dad.
Yeah.
What like?
Yeah,
that's kind of the point where she should have realized I've been betrayed.
Yeah, and I thought I what I was worried about was that because I didn't remember the movie that well. When James first walked into her room and saw her boyfriend dead on the ground,
yeah,
I thought that for like a brief second, the way the camera was set up, it kind of made it seem like she was going to come in behind him and like hit her dad or something or do something stupid.
Yep.
She didn't, but that was just kind of like the camera angles that it made me feel that way. But I'm glad that when she came in contact with her family, then at the next point, she immediately was like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't know he was going to do that. Like, is dad okay?" That was her first concern after that. And I think that redeemed her a little bit in my mind.
The reason why it didn't redeem her to me was because she waited until after Henry was expired.
Yeah.
That was like, okay, now you come and ask if everything's okay. And her and the boyfriend are the entire plot weaponry. Like without them, the homeless dude never gets away from the family. And frankly speaking, how big is this house that everybody was able to hide? Like
pretty damn big house. But so this is like one of those.
Yeah, and a new addition. Like, you didn't see it. It was beautiful.
This is like one of those houses in like a video game where you're like, the functionality of this is just
crap.
Non-existent.
Why do you need that big of a house though? Also,
I mean,
there are
need
four
is
of
irrelevant.
you.
I'm talking about the lunacy of this house. But we got to get further in so I can complain about some later things.
Do you have anything else to say about that, TJ?
I was just gonna say, like, I think that was decent writing to make the audience think that her allegiances might just lie with her boyfriend instead of her family. So like when he did walk in there, and you're like, oh, for a second I thought she was gonna murk him, because I also thought the same thing, but
I was worried. I was like, no, don't do it. Like, don't be stupid.
I think the fact that they play it off like the way they did is like.
You thought the daughter was going to murk?
I thought the daughter was
going to
like
too.
Kill the dad.
I didn't trust her.
Yeah, well, like I said, when he found Henry on the ground, the way the camera was set up was like she was going to come out of nowhere from behind and like smack him with a baseball bat or something.
I thought she had his gun and she was going to blast.
I didn't think she was going to actually do it, but I thought she was going to do something stupid. Like she was going to like hold it up to his head or something. But I'm glad she did it. And that's why, like, the second she found her family, she was like, "I can't believe he did that. I'm so sorry. Is dad okay?" Like, that was what she cared about. And I was like, okay. At that point, she'd already, like, she was like, "Fuck that guy. I can't believe he did
but
that."
why you ran off with him is beyond me.
Yeah, I think, like,
fucking dragged him
if you shoot at my
upstairs
dad,
like Private Ryan.
you're lucky I don't kill you. Like, you're lucky I don't finish you off.
And I'll tell you one of the funnier things, the contradiction of this, and I realize that the two movies are 180 degrees. If there was a further way to represent that, I would say it. But there's an old movie, 90s. I hate saying that. It's an old movie.
That's 30 years ago.
Brendan Fraser.
Get over it.
I know. Brendan Fraser and Alicia Silverstone called Blast from the Past. There's a funny moment where the son meets his dad, Christopher Walken. Brendan Fraser was the son. He meets his dad and tells him, I need you to trust me. I'm going to go back out. And his dad's saying, like, why? What do you mean? He goes, look, I need you to trust me without understanding. And the dad says, well, I mean, if that's what you need, then of course you got it. It's like, it's fantastic to see the complete polar opposite where the kid, the son who betrayed the family, had absolutely no trust in his dad whatsoever to say, I can't open this. Even if it was to go and ask his dad, to go and get his dad and say, hey, this guy is outside begging for help. What should we do? He didn't give any kind of credit to his dad at all. He just opened the freaking door. So I completely agree. Betrayal. Couldn't stand him. Daughter, absolute betrayal. Should have been far more transparent to dad. Hey, this guy's still here. I think that kind of would have revealed his motive if she would have gotten up and been like, I'm out,
Yeah.
but I guess maybe he was just, maybe his plans, as nefarious as they weren't as well concocted as I was giving him credit for.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of thinking like maybe his thought was, oh, if I unalive James during the Purge, I can't go to jail and her and I will live happily ever after. Maybe it was that stupid
Yeah, well, it
instead
kind
of like insidious.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like, does he actually love her, and is he just that stupid? Or was this always about just killing her dad?
I feel like it was just always about killing her dad.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. I would like to bring up a point that
Okay.
Nerdy Vet said, but I also thought, bro, the dad he sells security systems.
Yep.
Why wouldn't he put the maximum security on his house?
He did.
He fucking did not. It took one truck.
I think he was saying like the systems that they sold were not designed to actually have someone trying to break in. It was more to deter, because he was saying everything, which this kind of goes to something you've said before, Alex, that everything can be broken into. It's just a matter of time and pressure.
Right.
And so, like, these weren't really designed to actually be an impenetrable fortress. It was just designed to look strong enough that people are like, I'd rather go for an easier target.
Right.
So, like, that was the idea of it. But if someone really wanted to get in, they can get in.
In a world where people are murdering people on, like, this one day, I would take the utmost precaution in, like, making sure my family was good. Like, I would have at least, like, oh, that security system can be on the house, right? It's not impenetrable, but whatever. But also, can we have a fucking safe room or something?
Right.
Well,
Like,
I'm also
give us some,
wondering,
like 10-foot freaking thick steel,
where are the traps?
Can I piggyback on you a little
where
bit,
are the traps?
TJ?
But
Where are the traps outside? That would have
Something
solved a
you
lot.
said, like, he's the one who is selling these security systems.
Yeah.
One of the things that bothered me about these steel plates that they have, they were clearly bulletproof. You're not going to shoot through it with ordinary weaponry. That's all fine. All great. Where I had a problem was the simplicity of the steel plating. It costs nothing in comparison to the steel plates to have the plates embedded in the ground. So if it were to go into a groove, there is no way some freaking pickup truck is going to pull the thing down.
Like, if it went down and then there was like a slot for it to go into,
Exactly.
that would make it stronger. Yeah,
You're talking about the price would have been, when you're talking about the size of those steel plates, how many of them there are around this house and all of the windows, that to do a little tongue and groove in the perimeter for all of these, it would have been all of the difference in the world, and there would have been no way you would just back a truck up. Now, you could still get through, but what I've said about security, good security keeps honest people honest. With enough time and pressure, a bad person can get into anything. So this part's true. However, this is a timeline, isn't it? Is it 24 hours or was it only 12 hours?
12
24.
hours.
It was 12, right? It was at sunset
Starts
and then
at
it
night,
was sunrise.
And then once the light comes out.
That's what it said. I thought the whole
12.
premise was 24 hours, but they confused the heck out of me.
24 hours would be way too long.
I get that, but 12 hours to tunnel under a house, that clearly comes from people who have never dug a hole.
Yeah. You don't have time for that.
I mean, like,
well, you could get construction equipment, I guess.
Now, hold on. With construction equipment, You're sitting there in a steel-plated house that he clearly has slots and he has guns. You pick off drivers, which is why I don't understand why they didn't pick off the drivers who were coming up trying to take their steel gates down.
Yeah.
Well, truth be told, they weren't like. Well, actually, I will say the dad fought like hell.
He did.
Holy crap! Like,
Oh yeah, no,
that- I wasn't expecting any fight from him.
I was
Right.
literally
So that was
thinking,
crazy.
Like, why don't we have Ethan Hawke fucking like John Wick type movie, bro? He was pulling some fucking hard shit.
He was killing it.
Yeah.
I mean, he
I see what you did there.
yeah, pun intended. He won a 2v1.
He did.
Like, that's crazy. And if it wasn't for that slimy little slink, he would have been fine.
It's a sneaky
but
snake. He's so sneaky.
That leads to Josh's third point. Both kids make James look like a clueless, ineffective dad.
Yep.
The dynamic, James spends all of this money on a fortress-like home and acts like he has control, but his kids completely ignore his authority and wreck all of it. The irony, he sells security systems for a living, but can't even secure his own home for his own children.
Literally.
Or from his own children. He says the result, he ends up dying because of the chain of events that his kids set in motion, his trust and efforts to protect his family, all undone by them.
Mm-hmm.
Final result, the betrayal directly leads to his death. If Charlie hadn't opened the door, if Zoe hadn't hidden her boyfriend, if they had just listened to their parents for one night, the dad would still be alive. How to fix it in the story. He said, give the kids more. So I don't necessarily agree with this stuff, but we'll see. I'm going to read it. He said, give the kids more depth, show that they've been emotionally or morally conflicted about the purge system for a long time. I kind of think they did.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
the son was definitely
Like, they
very
really showed
conflicted
that
about it.
neither of them wanted to eat dinner because they were like, this is not a good night. And
Right.
their parents are like, oh, well, it's important.
It's important.
Maybe make Charlie part of an underground anti-purge hacker group instead of just a kid who felt bad. But I kind of think a kid who felt bad makes the most sense because, like, kids aren't usually thinking like super in depth and like with multiple layers. It's very simplistic. A guy was crying out for help. He was desperate because he was dying, and a kid felt bad.
Yep.
I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, no, the kids are you raise them the way that they like, like kids don't just become inherently a way that they are. They're usually like more compassionate for like things, So
Yeah.
it makes sense that
Then he says, let Zoe's boyfriend be a more sympathetic character or show that she didn't know he had a weapon. But I think she also kind of did that. I think she said, like, she didn't know.
Well, she didn't know he had a weapon.
Yeah, she didn't know he had a gun. But her hiding him was stupid. He said, instead, they're just careless and rebellious in the dumbest, most dangerous way possible, and their dad pays the ultimate price. I do agree with that. So, yeah, that sucks. The guy died knowing that both of his kids betrayed him.
Right.
That's pretty awful.
yeah, but also why the fuck do they have access to the security system? That,
Right.
Like, the Purge Day security system. Like, yeah, I get like, oh, give them a code to like turn off the alarm type shit, but like the security system, dog.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like,
I can't believe. Yeah, I agree.
it's
Why did he have the code? I thought about that when he put it in. I was like, my mom wanted to give me the code.
Right.
yeah, like, dude. And then like again, why the fuck would you not make your house more secure? It's so stupid. Like just a little bit
I
of
can't
thermite,
believe
you
there
could
was-
get through that shit.
I can't
Right.
believe there was no traps.
No, yeah, that was a point that you brought up. Like, where's the traps at? Where's the turrets on the roof?
Yeah, I
Right.
think like to defend the outside, I think it would make sense that you would have like the first thing I thought is when they attach chains to the door, where's the shock trap?
Something.
Something like metal on metal shock the shit out of him. Like,
Yeah,
do
I played
something.
Siege.
Have something in the porch area that you can drop if somebody's sitting on your front door.
Yeah, fuck a
They
trap.
could
just a
have
trap
killed him
door,
right
dude.
away.
Do something.
Yeah, it is crazy to me that they had no traps outside to defend themselves.
So in this particular story, the Bloody Stranger were not really told a whole lot, but in the later movies, it says he had some like military background, and
He becomes
I
more
don't.
important in I
Purge
think
election day?
Yeah, he
He's like-
he shows back up and he has like a whole like militia group.
Yeah,
as a
he's
part
big
of-
on the. He's on the anti-purge.
Yeah.
I guess you would call it resistance. That's what
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. Anti-purge resistance.
Speaking of election day, I've never seen any of the other any of the other purges, but do you think that if the purge were a real thing, do you think that people would follow that rule where it said like there's certain government officials that are immune?
I mean, like,
And do you think it would be provable
I
that
really
somebody?
do not. I don't think people would follow that rule because, like,
I don't think so
you'd be
either.
walking around with a gun and nobody would bat an eye, type shit. So, like,
Yeah,
Right.
but I mean, theoretically, those people would be like hidden away in safe houses, like
Right.
safe
Bunkers.
bunkers and whatnot.
yeah,
But I mean, if let's be real, if it was really that crazy, how many people in the country do you think would say, "Nope, I'm going straight for you"?
Straight for the president, yeah.
Only because you say you're so special. You don't have to be. I'm
There
going
would
to
be a
form
huge,
alliances.
yeah. There would definitely be a huge group of people. But then, so we briefly said before we started recording that if we got all of the survivors from Will You Survive together, we could survive the purge. Who would betray? Who would be the first?
you,
Me?
yeah.
No,
I think
I
TJ.
would be the betrayed.
TJ would screw us both.
I would definitely not, motherfucker. I would be locked in by myself somewhere. You would not find
Well,
me. Nobody is checking like rural Nebraska, bitch. I'll be on the next flight the day before in a fucking hut, just chilling.
That's
Okay.
Nobody's
true.
looking for me.
So this comment
Except me.
is worth reading here. It's from Fenriris. Home Alone did it better with traps.
I
TJ,
agree.
to your point.
Yeah.
point.
Oh,
Somebody
was
else
it?
said
the fuck?
landmines. Bury mines
Landmines
in the
would be great.
ground that are like wired with the security system. So once the system drops, mines get activated, and then once the day's over, they unactivate.
Dang. Yeah, that's good.
Like you got enough money
That's
to
good.
replace some fucking dirt or fucking
Yeah,
cement
this guy
that's
got
around.
money. Yeah, I really think that the lack of traps was what killed them, or well, what killed him.
Yeah, no traps,
Um,
no safe room.
I honestly also think the lack of I hate to use the term aggressiveness, but it's like I get it, and I have to first yield to the fact that him and his wife had kind of become complacent to this. You guys are bringing this point up that the kids were opposed to the whole purge idea and the movement.
Mm-hmm.
The parents had kind of become numb, if you would say. They're just going through the motion, right? Dad got rich by selling these alarm and security systems. They didn't really know that they were going to do anything. But I really think that we skip over a lot of purges to get to this point where how did you survive in the past? You had to have. They had to have unalived some people. That's just
Well,
not realistic.
Maybe not, because he was saying that normally in their neighborhoods, this kind of stuff doesn't happen.
And
But
I
that was something that he said. But this guy came strolling into the neighborhood begging for help, and he just so happened to be the target of somebody else, which is the only reason that they were even targeted.
How long
So-
ago was the first purge, though?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know that
I don't think they give that information.
There's a whole ass like series about it.
backstory.
Let me just.
Well, that
was the
makes
first
me.
Well, do we know what year this purge lands in?
The first annual purge, as depicted in the Purge franchise, took place in 2017.
And
It
this
was a test run
2022.
confined to Staten Island in New York. The first event depicted in the film The Purge occurred. What? Hold on.
Well, here's a timeline. So,
Okay.
2014, the new founding fathers of America rise to power after an economic collapse. 2017, the first experimental purge occurs on Staten Island. That was actually so we go backwards in the series when you watch the first purge, and then in 2018 the purge is rolled out nationally. In 2022, the events of the purge 2013 unfold during the 5th annual nationwide purge. So we watched one of the later ones. Finally, purge election day happens after this
Also,
one that we watched.
all crime is legal. Why is everybody murdering?
Yeah, you
There
can
are
do
more
anything.
crimes. You could fuck with your taxes.
Yeah, but that's the one.
I don't know if
you
it.
know.
I don't know if it clear
Whoa.
by the time the 12 hours, but you really could just like
Whoa.
steal.
You just like, you know what? You are right. You could go into.
You could go steal
Fort
a car.
Knox.
Wait, so if you stole a car, would it be your car?
I know, right?
Or would you have
The
to
next
forge
day?
the documents?
I think
Or do you
you'd-
have to
you
turn
would
it
have
back
to-
in the next day?
You would have to forge the documents, and then it's yours.
See, but all of that is, I think, low level thinking. You go into a bank and you just boom.
Get a job at a bank.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Like,
Get a job at a bank. This guy says.
well, you saw like police officers using their service weapons and firefighters setting fires in the beginning.
Oh, well, yeah.
So I think people were
No
already
bigger
doing
group
that.
of arsons than firefighters. You know that?
Yeah,
Dude,
it's kinda
I think they just want
kinda
fucking overtime.
creepy.
They're over here setting fires and shit. They're like, dude, we're gonna get so fucking paid.
And they're right.
Okay, so what's next?
Okay, so next thing that he put on there, he said the central premise is logically weak. Problem: legalizing all crime, including murder, for 12 hours to reduce overall crime makes no psychological, economic, or sociological sense. I don't know if it necessarily has to,
I mean,
other than the fact that the
if-
movie just says that was happening.
Okay, so like,
So
why does
we
most
just kinda
crime
have to take
happen
the-
though? It's like because you're fucking broke and you need some money, so you steal, or you don't like this
I don't
bitch,
know.
so you kill her, or you
I don't
know.
think
So
that's-
everybody has like their reasons for doing something. So if they get that
Yeah.
something done on that day, they don't need to do
I could
it
see it.
any other time.
I could see the logic.
That's
that
the logic. But
if
like, I don't-
people knew, like, oh, I'll just wait till this day where there's no consequences, then it would happen less. I think violent crimes would happen less. I don't know if like blue collar and stuff like that. I think that might just still happen naturally. But
oh yeah,
I don't completely think the premise of if something like this were enacted, that crime would drop. I don't think that's completely out of the question.
See, I
Maybe
have
not to the extent, but like not to the extent of the movie where it was like what 95% or something crazy.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that would be true.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think if people knew, like, oh, I'll just fucking wait till the purge?
No, because I think too many crimes occur out of spontaneity, out of passion, out of anger, out of spite, out of it's opportunity. See, in order to convict, you need means, motive, and opportunity. The opportunity doesn't come on one day scheduled.
Can I propose an idea? Do you think there's possibility in which if the purge actually existed, that immediately after the purge, crime would be the highest? Well, I would actually say it would probably be pretty low still. Maybe with a slight spike, and the reason I would say that is because immediately when the purge ends, I could see a couple people still committing a crime, hoping to get away with it. So I could see crime spiking right after the purge, and then going back down to
really
virtually
slow
nothing,
decline.
and then to slowly. I would say that it would be like a bell curve where, like 3 months after the purge, more crime would start happening because people are like, the purge is so far away. But the closer the purge gets, I think people would be like, I'll just wait for the purge.
No, see, I don't think what is inevitable to happen is if I saw, let's say I successfully survived, but somebody unalived one of my children, I'm not going to wait for the next purge. I don't care. My life is over.
Yeah.
My seed is gone. I'm going to take you out. You're one of my next door neighbors, and you tied up my son and my daughter, and you wanted to unalive them in front of me? No. At which I don't want to skip unnecessarily, but I got things to say about that ending.
But yeah, in I think it's election year or the one before it. I don't know. There are people who travel from different countries also to do the purge.
Wow.
Purge tourism.
I could see that.
See but that's the kind of shit that should be banned in this universe.
I feel like
What?
the purge is just
Other
a less
other countries?
It's a
Put
United
together
States thing,
Hunger
man.
Games.
Get the hell out of here. It's a Hunger Games.
Yeah, I feel like we just need to gather up a bunch of kids, put them into an arena, watch it on fucking Sports Center, ESPN, whatever.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I
that was
gotta
actually
give-
That'll
actually
be
something
cathartic,
that,
you know?
that was actually something that Josh said. He said to improve upon the premise, narrow the concept to something more plausible, like a government-sponsored combat zone or sanctioned duels, instead of a blanket lawlessness period.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the
can kinda see
first
it.
Purge that happened in like the canon. It was just in one spot in Staten Island.
But I will say this.
So
You
what
have
if
any idea how much the United States would save on tax dollars if every single government worker, bureaucrat, law enforcement officer, every single tax paid employee is off for a day?
Well, you know what I was thinking is the EMTs would probably not participate in the purge because they would have to participate in the purge and then immediately after the purge get in a truck and go around helping everybody,
yeah,
which would probably be like
Also-
the busiest day ever.
I've got
Yeah.
an idea for the premise. What if, because like there's federal laws, there's state laws, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if every state just has a different purge?
In what way?
Just like what if they have it doesn't have to be on the fucking purge day. The state it'll choose its own purge day.
Oh, so you could just participate in multiple purges per year?
Yeah, I feel like and I feel like that boosts the economy because everybody's paying for flights to get to fucking Nebraska where their purge is on the 5th, and then immediately flying over to New York because it's on the 7th. And I feel like that would cut down on crime because they're too busy fucking chasing the purge.
Okay.
And it would start in Colorado first because they legalized weed, and weed
they would
makes you
legalize the
kill
purge
people.
first.
Everybody. It's
Oh,
the
yeah,
devil's
that's
lettuce.
definitely true.
It's sin.
Okay. Moving on from that.
A podcast reborn. This is a drug hate podcast now.
So Josh says his next gripe is zero real-world economic or social fallout. Problem, there's no explanation of how society could function with massive property damage, trauma, and death every year. Improvement, show real-world consequences, insurance chaos, PTSD rates, corrupt corporations profiting from it, to grounded in realism. Which I kind of think they somewhat show a little bit. Did you guys listen to the broadcasting at the end in the credits?
Yeah, well, it's kind of the opposite of what I think would really happen. It was the most successful purge in purge history. And okay, what made this so successful? Especially because, at least in this one area, how many areas across the country did the purge move into the rich areas? Because in the early credits, in the beginning, they were talking about how it was only the poor who were affected by the purge. But now it moved into the rich neighborhoods. And that's where property damage actually occurs. That's where money flies off the shelves from insurance companies, which makes this, in my opinion, makes this so much more unrealistic because then insurance companies are having to pay out every year for the purge. No, we're done. Not happening. They're not going to pay out.
Because they're not going to pay out. Because they would probably make some stipulation that any damage done during the purge is not covered.
Right.
But then who's going to pay for it? The government?
No, they have to pay for it themselves.
Yeah. That I agree that there would be no feasible way to handle that as a society. But I also agree, like going back to what you were saying earlier, there's no way you could watch your neighbor try to kill your kids right in front of you while you're tied up, and then the alarm goes, and you're like, all right, bye, neighbor, see you tomorrow.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Like, absolutely not.
No, because then I'm waiting all year long for the next time you're going to try this shit.
That would never fly.
That's why the different states purge or designated purge zones, like national parks or something, you know?
Yeah.
Or, hear me out, and just
like
bring
that.
back fucking duels.
I think bring back
Duel
duels.
motherfuckers again, please?
Yeah, I say we bring back...
That and cloaks.
That's what he said.
Can we bring back
he said,
duels and cloaks?
He said, Josh said government-sponsored combat zones or sanctioned duels.
Yeah.
I kind of think, I mean, frankly speaking, duels, I think is this is the weirdest way to say this. I think it's really the most gentlemanly way of doing this.
I knew you were going to use the word gentlemanly.
Really?
Because that's exactly what I was thinking too.
No. Because have you guys seen the last John Wick movie?
Good, sir. No.
Which one?
The last
17?
one. 4?
No.
John Wick 54?
No? Okay. I'll just...
John Wick 137?
Spoiler
you know what?
alert.
I did see the end.
It ends in a duel with flintlock pistols. I think if duels were a thing, we would have to have swords or single shot pistols.
Cool.
That or like a crossbow would be kind of fucking crazy.
No, that actually makes sense.
And then if you miss, you can punch
clarify
each other
because
to
I
death.
didn't know it was a flintlock pistol.
Yeah.
But that makes perfect sense. Because you already said spoiler alert, so sorry guys. But when he, the antagonist walks up to John Wick and the manager, it's like, you arrogant prick, he didn't fire. And then all of a sudden John Wick sits up.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I'm sorry. Nerdy Vets, breech load, not flintlock. Thank you.
Don't care what you fucking think. No, I'm just...
So, Josh's third point is a nationwide crisis reduced to one house. He says, problem, the story is confined to a single home invasion, wasting the nationwide scale of the Purge concept. Improvement, expand the scope, show different classes, public areas, rural versus
Which
urban
they
chaos,
do
to explore the societal implications more fully. I agree. They do show that, but they show it in the news clips and excerpts that are in there.
At the beginning, right?
But I think, like, I don't really have a problem that they focused in on one family, considering I think there's too many Purge movies, and they all explore something different within the Purge. So I agree that I agree that there is more to the Purge, but I think it might be a little unfair to expect the first movie to show the whole nationwide scale of it.
Yeah.
When the whole purpose was just to show the effect it had on this one family.
Yeah,
Right.
and I'm pretty sure the second movie follows just like a couple
Whoops.
just on a drive, and then the Purge happens. And then the third one, I think that's election year. It follows a government official. So I feel like that's a wide variety. You know?
I actually want to watch more Purge movies now.
Yeah.
Really?
I
didn't
told
know
you
that
I
there
would
was
be
more
down
story
to
to it.
fucking do the next one.
Yeah, I didn't know that there was actually like more story to it. I thought it was just like
Oh yeah,
another
no.
Purge movie, like just
This-
another night of killing each other.
Why do you think they made so
I didn't think there was
many?
like a whole
If
story.
they make money, they're making more. You know, so there's got to
Well,
be.
yeah,
some
I
sort of lore.
understand that. I just didn't. I didn't know that there would be like any connections to each other. I thought it was just like random.
Well,
Purge movies,
what
to
I
be
like
honest.
about it is it seems like they decided, as you're suggesting, it seems like they decided to explore the other parts of the universe rather than trying to make it a sequential series of movies.
Yeah,
Which there is some sort
Which I
of
like.
like crossover between, because the homeless guy in this does come back, and also
Sure.
one of the characters from 2 comes back in multiple of them. But there's also like movies like this are cool because there's world building as like the movies go on or whatever, and like there's deep lore and whatever. But there's like, I'm pretty sure in one of them there's like a religious group that like sacrifices people for their purge.
Whoa. Damn.
Yeah, I think I'm remembering that. I don't like. It's been a while since I watched these movies, but
That's just brutal as hell.
I think I've seen
So-
Election Year in theaters. It's probably that
so
one.
I'm reading some of Josh's points, and I'm starting to think that he hasn't seen the other Purges like me. Because based off what you guys are saying, some of his problems, I'm like, oh, but that's solved in a later movie. So the next one he says is, the Sandlins are bland, rich, and dumb, which I actually agree with.
Fair.
Yeah, so
I think
are
that's a
most
fair
rich people.
assessment. He goes, the main family is flat, unlikable, and often acts irrationally, like letting a stranger in during Purge night. He says, improvement, give the family deeper conflicting motivations, which this one, he says, maybe one supports the Purge and another opposes it, causing real tension. But I think that's exactly what happened with the son and the parents.
Yeah,
The son opposed it. The parents supported it. And that was the tension when the son let the stranger in.
I get your point, but is it fair to say they supported it or they just lived in it?
I feel like they supported
No,
it. So what
I
did the
think
dad
I
said?
think they supported it.
He was like,
Beca-
"This
yeah.
is the day that everybody gets all of their, stuff out and blah blah blah." But you don't like if you support something that I feel like that's the way you talk about it.
I think the way that when the son said, "Would you ever participate?" and he was like, "Well, yeah, if I ever felt the need, of course I would participate." That's supporting it.
Yeah.
But see, like, I wouldn't tell my daughter or my son that I wouldn't participate. I wouldn't say something like that. I would say something like, I would probably tell them openly, I would take someone's life to protect you. And it's the way that I honestly feel about it is, would I go out and do that? No.
Yeah, but that's
But
not.
you come to
that's
me,
not what the son
I'm
was
taking
saying.
him out.
The son wasn't like, if we were in danger, would you protect us? The question was, would you participate in the purge?
But he's
And
saying if I needed to.
No, he said if I felt like he was like, if I felt like I needed to let that out, then yes. He was very much
I guess if
in support
if
of
that was what
the
he said,
purge.
then I would say that he was supportive of it.
I think the mother was kind of just going along with it. I don't know if she necessarily supported it. I think he thought he supported it until it got too real, until it was happening to him.
Yeah.
It's happening.
And I think
to the
that's
poor
when he
people
realized. Yeah, because he was able to just watch it on a screen. You saw how desensitized it, which is actually like a really
Modern.
nasty, a really nasty comparison to reality, where we become
We were
so
literally
desensitized.
just talking about how
Yeah.
desensitized we are to like really brutal shit.
We become
Yeah.
like I literally watch a clip of a Ukrainian soldier in the Ukraine war, and it's like an airsoft video just on TikTok. I'm like, this is crazy. We don't need to be seeing this kind of
I've
stuff.
said
all
that
the time.
openly. I haven't seen it on TikTok, but on Instagram, I've seen people unalived left and right, and I'm like, dude,
Ridiculous.
you
man.
will now.
They'll give me
okay.
a sensitive content warning for like a puppy biting a toe, and like a little bit of blood comes out, but then a guy will straight up fall 130 feet off of a cliff,
Yes.
and I'm like, he died, and I'm just watching this,
Yes.
and no sensitive content warning, no nothing.
That the other thing is they will full on ban TikTokers. I mean grammars. When there was a girl who did not intentionally show boobie, and her whole boob came out, and they
Yeah.
banned her account, and that was not her content. Like, she didn't post spicy content. And this one particular video, it was a nip slip, and one time, and they banned her account. And I was like, dude, I would far rather my kids see nipples than beheadings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be far less traumatized.
I just want to add something to the Ukrainian war videos. Dude, I hear like it'll be like I don't know which side it was on. They're either Russians or Ukrainians, but you hear like the fucking drones they're using.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The fucking
Horrifying.
screech of the drones is so fucking unsettling.
Yep.
It's horrifying.
It freaks me
it's
the fuck out.
Yeah, it's a brutal, horrible thing, and we've become very desensitized to it. So I think the parents became kind of desensitized to it, like kind of
Agreed.
far and removed away from it, because you especially heard it when they're like, oh, maybe we'll watch some Purge events. And I'm
Agreed.
like, what? We're just watching these events for entertainment?
Is there like
during
a
the
Purge night football or like
Yeah, it's like ESPN for the Purge.
so
Like,
all
what
of
the
that,
hell?
Every player
all of
gets
that
a Glock.
mindset kind of references my point, or not references it.
Bolsters?
No, it kind of rebuts my point why they weren't sitting up in their house with the slotted steel capping off at that truck as he's pulling up to pull their gates down,
where
their
are the
doors down.
mounted turrets or something?
That's something. I would be upstairs with a scoped rifle, and
Literally.
that driver's just
Give me
going.
a fucking
But the
50
dad was
cal,
saying like
dude.
he like supported it, but like very passively. Like he
No, I'm
didn't-
agreeing.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
agreeing
like,
with
he
that.
didn't want to
That's
do
what-
anything.
That's where his fault was.
Yeah,
He thought that this security system was enough because it never happens to me, which is
I would
just,
have a whole
I
room
mean,
of guns. I would have a safe room.
me too.
I
Me
would
too.
have fucking activated moats that like
Traps.
for real. Like as soon as this shit, like as soon as I turn on the security system, everything activates.
With
Yeah.
all
Any
the
lot of
money
heat
he
traps
signature
are
has,
outside, I don't care who it is, what it is. You're getting shot. Stay away from my house.
like those automatic turrets in the movie Aliens.
Yeah, I'll have a freaking speaker system out there. Like, hey, don't cross that line. You're gonna get shot.
I can't control it. It's automated.
It's automated,
Anybody
sorry.
crosses that line, it's going.
I can't shut off the system until freaking 5 a.m. or whatever.
And who was that who was complaining about James? He has a boat. What do you need a boat for when you? Because they did the add-on garage, wasn't it? It was the add-on that
which
the
they could
neighbors
have
were complaining
used.
about.
I assume that the security system you can open just one of the panels. You know,
If it was
So
any
just
good, right?
Shove the dude, the homeless guy, in the garage. If you're really trying to survive, throw him in the garage, lock the garage door, open the door till they get him, shut it, or something.
yeah.
I mean, clearly the beef was
Or-
that they didn't want to turn him over anymore.
If they had a safe room, go
or
into
if
the
they had a
safe room. Open
Yeah.
the security. They can come in your house. You can replace everything. You're rich.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. So Josh's next point, he says the homeless stranger is a plot device, which I don't necessarily have a problem with, but
No.
he says problem. He has no backstory or personality, used only to trigger the home invasion conflict. Now, if you don't know anything about the next movies, this is a completely valid gripe. He says, improvement, give him depth. Maybe he's a veteran or former government employee, so viewers care whether he lives or dies.
His purpose in the movie was to just be a human being.
Yeah. To be fair, in the first movie, when this first came out, with none of the other movies after it, he is a very kind of random ass character. But I think that was kind of intentional. Because you were also feeling that same uneasiness that the family was feeling, where you're like, you don't know who this guy is or what he's capable of or what he'll do.
And sometimes you need a plot device to move the plot forward. There wouldn't have been anybody at their door unless he was there. Because the people that he sold the security systems to, all his neighbors, they said once the security system was down, was when they decided to go over there.
True.
Yeah, they saw an opportunity.
Because they had no opportunity with the security system. They didn't know how to do all of that.
Yeah, that's why I don't mind that he was a plot device. I do agree he kind of came out of nowhere, but I do think that also helps you feel what the family is feeling, where you're like, I don't know what this guy is gonna do. And now that he's in here, what do you do?
Yeah.
He didn't have a weapon, didn't he? He didn't have one. He found a gun in the house, right? He was injured. He was running. I feel like he would have immediately just murked the kid. It doesn't take that much to freaking, sorry, TikTok, choke a kid out, So so I feel like there's something, he was just there to be human, to show some sort of compassion towards.
Although he did slam her head into a wall.
He fucking did
He really did.
He bodied her.
It took her like freaking 10 minutes to wake up.
Oh yeah, she was out for a while.
She has a concussion.
You remember that?
Wasn't she just like laying there afterwards, just like staring off, like she was. Yeah,
even
she was
when
concussed.
even when she woke up, she was
she was concussed.
Back. Yeah, he hit her hard.
Yep.
So like that. Now that I think was like, come on, man. You're not the bad guy, but then you do that, and you're like, that's really
they were
rough.
looking for him, and he, it's like
I get it.
Wounded animal.
Well, but I think Josh's point is very well made in that he was just there for plot artillery, weaponry, and armor simultaneously.
Saving the day, somewhat.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that actually not knowing anything about him and being the whole time you're like, this could go good, this could go bad. He could be good, he could be bad. I don't know. At the end, when he does decide to help the family, I think that really accentuates his character arc.
Right.
Where you knew nothing about him this whole time, really. He was kind of played both sides a little bit at sometimes, and you're like, I don't know where he's gonna fully land.
Yep.
And then he ends up defending the mom and is like her muscle.
Yep.
At the end. So
after he leaves at the end, he's he's in this nice rich neighborhood, and he ends up getting shot by the police because he's not supposed to be there.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you made that up.
No, I made that up. That would have been crazy, though.
I swear I watched the credits. I mean, for all I know, the credits as the report was going on in the background, it's like showing images coming up, and I'm like, they capped this poor dude as he's. It's like that's like Night of the Living Dead.
They're like, he's got a gun.
Ending to Get Out as the cops show up.
Oh my god!
Instead of his airport security friend.
Okay, so Josh's next problem, he says they are cartoonish villains with no real motive, which I don't fully agree with this either. He says, problem, the polite leader and his crew are overly theatrical and lack a believable reason to be so sadistic.
Well, they're trying to clean up the streets from all the dirties.
Yeah, I think they are just well. So here's what he says. He says improvement: show them as brainwashed elites, which I think they were.
Yeah.
Government tools or ideological extremists to make their behavior more believable. I would say they were both brainwashed elites and ideological extremists, based off of the way he was talking.
Also,
where he did have that very like Joker like calmness,
they
but
were
like
hard tweaking for this one guy. What did he do?
Right.
he got away from him.
He got away from them.
That's what it was. He got away.
Fought back. He actually said he had the nerve to fight back.
Yeah,
This
I
takes
think he said
place
he had the
in
gall.
LA.
The gall. That's
You
it.
know
He
how
had
many
the
homeless people are in
gall.
LA?
Yeah, not after the purge.
That's what they said.
Fix
They
their
said
problem.
Homelessness
No.
was down.
But so that's like the thing where it was like that was the big controversy at the end in the broadcasting is when they were saying crime is down, back down to it's like what 1% or whatever, like 99% down or whatever, like some crazy number. They're like, it is down. It's hard to refute the numbers, but is this about eliminating the poor, or is this about eliminating the poor, or is this about what they say it's about?
It's definitely about
So that was like the
eliminating
whole
poor.
big controversy, and they're like, but it's hard to refute the numbers when there's no crime happening,
You see,
But,
you
you know-
got to see Josh's comment.
What do you say?
Josh
Again,
keeps commenting
to be fair, I did have
Just read it.
ChatGPT help make this.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, that's so funny. Okay, I didn't know that. I understand that now.
I did.
Next point. The security system makes no sense. I think we're going to agree with this. He said, for a top-of-the-line system, it's easily breached by basic tools. Yeah, chains and a truck. I do agree. It should not have taken one
fucking
truck.
Rainbow
Yeah.
Six
to
Siege
yank off.
durability on the fucking walls.
It does. Thermite came out.
Yeah, fucking sledge.
Improvement. Either make the system more realistic or acknowledge that it's faulty to sell more upgrades. Corporate greed as a scheme.
He did.
Which
I think they were trying to get to that. They may not have.
But then it begs the question: why didn't he have all the add-ons and upgrades and everything?
Yeah, instead
Well,
of
that's what we
adding on a
definitely
fucking
believe.
garage to his house, how about you make
Right.
the fucking steel thicker?
But because, and I think if I can quote Fenriris, he actually says it pretty well in here, is the fact that he doesn't believe that this can happen to him, it fosters weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think it was. I don't think he spent the money on the security system to show his neighbors he believed in it, but I don't think he ever believed the purge was going to come to them.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like, so
it's
far
happening to all
removed
the
from
poor
it
people.
that it's almost like, oh, it's just a different world. Like, I'm not a part of that. And then it actually hits you and you're like, oh,
I'm
shit.
not from Compton.
Me and you, we
Yeah,
both
exactly.
we both say like we're close enough, which it's weird because they were supposed to be in the ritzier part of LA, but if you drop all police services, the Beverly Hills is overrun in minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They're surrounded by less than attractive
Communities.
neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And by the
There's-
way, I kind of think that those ghettos would stand a better chance
Oh yeah.
than the rich neighborhoods.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh
and
my
I
God.
wonder now. Okay, we will probably all agree on this. The reason why they haven't risen up is because they can't stand together in the ghettos. They fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
If they could stand together during one of these purges and just take down their elite enemies, I mean, shoot.
Well, I
Again-
think that's why the elite have power to begin with, though, is that they'll work together.
Yeah.
And
But this kind of goes to the point earlier made in that regard. I kind of think instead of a car, if you take somebody's house during the purge,
Is
you
it
have to give
yours?
it back the next
yeah,
day.
how does that work? I do question that. That kind of goes to Josh's point about no real world economic or socioeconomic
It really doesn't
impact.
make sense, does it? Because if you were to, I think that is one of the major plot holes for this movie, and that's why they focus so much
on murder
on murder.
because it's so decisive.
It's decisive. That's it.
Because like,
There's nothing
what if
tomorrow.
you steal a car minutes before the purge ends?
Right.
When it ends and you're driving it, are you now guilty of Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah. What is
Or are you still exempt because it was an action that started during the
it?
purge?
Right.
So this goes to his next point. No explanation of how it's enforced. Problem, who prevents crime before or after the purge? What stops people from planning mass crime outside the time window? Nothing, really.
Nothing.
besides just the fact that now it's illegal.
Right.
But
I'm
then
sure
that's
the
kind of
police in this universe have a lot more like money around, considering like a lot of the shit that's like the crime rate is down, you know?
Right.
So like
right.
I feel like they got like systems in place. I'm sure this is like a dystopian future where there's like cameras everywhere. Couldn't be our future, right? Couldn't be right now.
Right. Couldn't be our. I mean, wait.
I've never seen a camera before.
Do we have cameras everywhere?
I've never seen a camera before.
Is there a camera looking at me right now?
You can't get around. What? There is a camera looking at you. It's a conspiracy.
I hit a button. There's a camera in the corner of my room, and I just stare at it.
So Josh says, and this was my point, if you rob a bank, do you get to keep the money? You would have to. You would have to be able to. The ones that are interesting to ask are the actual transfer of property, where like the bank money is like, that's the banks, right? That's interesting. But cash is not traceable in most instances.
There's no way to really steal a house unless you get the owner and forcefully make them sign the deed over. And then in that case, I feel like it is your house because the deed is signed over to you.
But the point is very well made by Josh, because if I go into your home and I take it by force and I unalive everybody in it and I say, this is my house. I mean, this is just an act of piracy in the grandest scale. Everybody's doing it in the country,
what
right?
if you just steal a bunch of lottery tickets?
Again, same thing.
That brings up, if you take stuff from the armory, from the National Guard, do you get to keep the Hummer after?
I like how specific you got at the end of that.
It is kind of a gray area in this universe. I don't know if they explain it anymore in the other movies, but
that all makes sense. It's very controversial to go down that road, so it's easier to just stay on one.
I feel
crime.
like money is like, you get to keep the money. However, they do know what it's like serial numbers are on them, so like maybe not though.
I don't know how much of this next point is actually shown in the movie or not. It says total lack of world building. We hear about the new founding fathers, but the film does almost nothing to explain how they came to power or what they believe. I think that's true because I don't know how the new founding fathers came to power.
The founding
in
fathers
the first
stuff.
In the second one, right?
And I think
in just the first movie, because
not in the first movie. They just say our founding fathers, but they're not talking about like Ben Franklin and shit.
No,
they're talking about new founding fathers,
which sounds like it was a complete government takeover.
Yeah.
So that's what that sounds like to me. And
it was.
The second I heard our new founding fathers,
As
like,
my wife
so
said.
you fucked up America. Okay.
It was allegedly after an economic collapse. So they just, they made an economic collapse and then brought these saviors in.
There's an economic collapse. Let's murder.
If our founding fathers aren't good enough for you, you should probably leave America.
Ben
So
Franklin.
last point, 12 hours wouldn't be enough. Problem, coordinating mass violence, murder, or major crimes in only 12 hours isn't as easy as cathartic as the movie suggests. Improvement, show how some prepare for months and explore how this creates a year-round culture of fear. I do kind of think it tried to briefly show that because it only started the day before the Purge, the movie.
Yeah.
Or the day of the Purge.
The day of, hours before.
Yeah, so like the movie only has kind of a narrow scope of the Purge itself. It's only just kind of touching the main premise of it,
right?
And then showing how it affects this one family. But you saw like the guy in his backyard sharpening his machete.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like you saw people were preparing.
Yeah.
People had parties planned, things like that. So people were definitely preparing.
I think
somewhat
it would
in advance.
be. I get the catharsis of it because imagine like you go an entire year with your mouth taped shut, but then you get your tape off once a year. Would you not take that time to like scream your fucking head off? Would that not be cathartic?
While I agree with that particular example,
but for like
I
murderers,
think it's,
you get it. In like the non-murderer speak. I'm trying to.
I get it for the murderers, but there aren't that many, right? It's so bizarre to me that this movie makes it out like killing people would be so easy. I mean, look at our vets.
Mm-hmm.
Our vets,
people who are literally trained to be killers, and they come back messed up.
They don't teach them how to deal with what they've done.
But I wonder if that would. Well, I think during the Purge, people would be more like not thinking about that, and just saying like, "Oh, I'll just go do it. Why not?" and then having to live with the consequences of that for the rest of their lives, realizing like, oh, that was not fun.
But see, what I think would end up happening is you would end up with a society filled with messed up people.
Exactly. I agree.
Serious mental issues.
I agree. It would be a completely traumatized entire society of people.
And it would either be an entire society of people who would be desensitized and therefore crime would run rampant because they wouldn't care about the purge day. At least it might work 1 year, 2 year, and this was supposed to be only like the 5th year. So maybe it's still working. People are holding off,
Do you
but
think they moved
very
out after?
shortly after. I mean, I would.
I feel like it'd be so awkward if they didn't. It's
I
like,
don't know how
"Hey,
she
Jeff."
could ever look in that direction again without wanting to kill them.
That's what I'm.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
also a point that I thought of. He's putting in all these security systems into people's houses. I would put in a back door to everybody's. You know,
I was kind
Oh,
of thinking the
damn.
same thing. I was like, for a little bit of the movie in the beginning, I was like, what if he's just selling them like fucking sheet metal?
Well,
like
he was.
scraps.
like
was.
I feel like he would have like a master code to like their shit. You know,
That's why
And
he
that-
said to his wife, they look good, but they're not going to keep people out.
Yeah.
That's a sad state. He really was guilty of selling them snake oil.
True.
And he knew it.
And then he made a new addition on his house and didn't pay for a better security system that he already doesn't have to pay for because it's his business.
Which I would have done, because then the neighbors would have been like, damn, we really did right.
Also, one wall. Why not have two? Why not have a shutter on the outside and another one on the inside?
I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things definitely that.
If it's once
also-
a year, there's a lot of planning that goes through it. See, we've talked about this. My whole setup would have been hinged on inner outer shutters. It would have been a lag bolt going straight through the studs, holding both sides up. And you're not going to pull. You try to pull, you're going to, I mean, you could pull the whole house down, but then we're also in a safe room
Also-
and have at it.
My house would be heavy as fuck because inside my walls, thick ass steel. Because I'm assuming their walls aren't bulletproof, are they?
That's true. That's true.
Just one guy
would
with a machine
be-
gun.
Yeah.
Fuck up your whole day.
If you French fry when you should have pizza, you're gonna have
You're
a
gonna
bad
have
day.
A bad time. If you don't plant mines in your yard for Purge Day, you're gonna have a bad time.
That's true.
Yeah. I think that's
And
the key
that's why you should
takeaway.
come down to WIS mine fields, where we will put mines in your front yard. They may or may not be fake.
You'll put
we'll let you know.
Mayans in
There
my
will,
front
there will
yard?
be Mayans in your
in my
front.
field.
It's the
Here
Mayans
at-
from Sons of Anarchy are going to be in your front yard. It's a biker gang.
Here at KYGB Mines.
I thought you were going to say KY Jelly.
K
Yo, Diddy was probably having a wild time during the Purge. Hold up. talk about that.
KYAGB.
Or not.
Wait, so if you kidnap somebody, do you get to keep them?
See? Like that. What? It doesn't make sense.
Do you get to keep
Plot
them?
hole.
Do I get to keep it?
Plot hole.
Pa, can
All
I
right,
keep
well,
the
that
black
was-
man I let in the house?
Okay, wait. I got to say, something that just absolutely freaking bothered me was that ending.
Colored man.
We only kind of talked about it, but that just drove me nuts. That she was like, we're not going to kill any more tonight. Like, dude, seriously? Like, I get the sentiment, but you know that they're just going to wait until next year. They're not going to want to live with you. You're not going to want to live with them. You said it. You're going to be driving by these people like, hey, what's up, Bob? Hi, Jim.
Yeah.
High key,
I-
I would have
I-
like poisoned them or something.
This is absolutely freaking
Well,
ludicrous.
that goes to the question. Like, that's why I said that after the Purge, like immediately after the Purge, I would expect a massive increase, a massive spike in crime
Yeah.
from people either
Revenge killing.
revenge killing right after the Purge, or not realizing the Purge ended yet, or like already ended.
Yeah, you have to be next to like a. No, because the fucking sirens. You can
Well,
hear
hang
them.
tight, because we haven't even, they didn't explore, and we didn't explore the most awful thing. What if they were like just SAing people
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
And then you have to look at that person the next day and be like, oh, but it was during the purge. So
that you're telling me that a woman who gets that and has to live with that doesn't come the next day and just blast?
yeah,
I'm not buying that.
that's why I think there'd be a massive spike in crime after the purge. That's why
I agree with that.
I don't think there would be
My
like
brain's
that.
not nice.
I don't think there would be that 95 or like 95, 99, whatever it was, percent no crime thing. I don't think that would. I think maybe at
Don't
some,
let TJ talk.
I
Don't let
think
TJ
maybe
talk.
at some points during the year.
That's why you kill him after. Anyways,
He's gonna say something.
Thank you all for.
Oh my God, I'm sorry for laughing. That was awful. That was awful.
It was awful. That's why I'm gonna cut
But
it.
you're probably right.
No, you don't get to do that and live and then cut it.
Yeah. The live.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap up this episode.
I think we need to
Okay.
watch The Purge again. Another one would be dope. Probably not next episode, but we could do another one.
Oh,
I could do it next episode. But
would you?
that or Code Black.
Oh man.
Kind of want to see where we go with Code Black.
Man.
I know it's
No,
a
it means-
cliffhanger.
I know it means I don't get to win, but I kind of want to know.
All right. I'm also curious. TJ's the winner.
Yay!
Yay! I didn't.
That's what you get. Wait, so if you bribe a cop during the purge,
Oh, that's fine. I could see that being fine.
but like,
As long as the money transfer doesn't happen after the sirens ring.
I see during the purge the cops roaming around together in a unified fashion, unaliving people.
is the purge
So it's
Pacific
really no
Standard
different.
Time or Eastern Standard Time?
Oh, yeah, how do
Is there a
time
purge
zones
during the-
work?
Yeah, is there a purge during the day on like the other side of the states?
During the day out there. It's only a 3-hour time difference, dude.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Well, yeah,
This
but
guy.
it would start like when it's bright out, though.
I love it.
When did it
Still.
That's
start?
awesome. You're right.
When did it
would
start
be.
in the
It would-
purge?
I think it was 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So
Did it start at 4?
7 p.m. It would be 4 p.m. in Los Angeles.
Or
I
would it just
I
be by
went
your
to-
time zone?
I think it would have to be by
Is
your
there
time
just
zone.
like
In
but
a
which
it's still
case,
kinda
the
funny.
people who live on the time zone could get an extra hour.
It could, if you just cross over that time zone.
Yeah.
So who
Okay.
keeps track of that?
Winner speech. Thank you guys for supporting me and what I do. I'm forever grateful to our founding fathers and to our new refurbished America and podcast. Eric is very tired. He has to go do job things. We are going to end this by 12 though, so you will be getting a decent amount of sleep, Eric.
I will be getting 5 hours.
Because I
You're
am
gonna be getting some
immediately
meanies.
closing the live and going to bed.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Oh, this guy's tired too.
Yes,
Alex,
I am. I'm tired, hot. I worked.
Alex,
Alex,
loser
you
speech.
I lost. It's okay. I'm still kind of excited to see what happens in Code Black. I hope you guys come back and listen to that
I've
episode
got
as well.
Such
Come and
a
listen to
good
us
fucking idea
on
for
the
it.
live. The next time you're listening to this, we do the live podcast every Friday evening. Usually we start about 10:30, if not a little bit later. We're late birds, except for we're not. Not all of us.
I'm so tired.
Eric is
time.
fading fast. His timer is
fading.
going down.
He's fading.
So-
He's gone.
We thank you all for joining us. I'd like to tell you, please send us your emails to the boys at willyousurvivethepodcast.com. That's THEBOYS at willyousurvivethepodcast.com. And also check out all of our socials, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook at Will You Survive the Podcast. That's also good for YouTube. And you can find us on X if you just search at the boys, WYS, at the boys, WYS. You'll find us everywhere. Please make sure you like, comment, share, follow, all of the good stuff. Help us reach our audience. It is free, and it helps us immensely. Thank you all so much for joining us.
All right.
Skirt.
Thank you guys for joining. I'm going to close this out before TJ gets any more ad libs in. Stay alive.
but I get to talk at the end because this is my whole thing. So stay alive. Last episode, it